You are watching CIOTV by Enterprise IT World, a production of Accent Infomedia.
Hello and good afternoon. You are watching CIO TV. In the series of interviews, we are trying to understand perspectives of the CIOs, IT leaders, general managers, chief general managers, presidents, and vice presidents who are independent and who are HOD of their department about the technology, various technologies those are influencing the organizations and their strategies, how to make the IT strategy aligned with the business strategy. Today, our guest is Mr. Alok Khanna, Executive Director, Strategic IS, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. To give you a perspective of his illustrious career, he is an IIT Roorkee graduate, so also MBA. Plus, he is in this organization for last 38 years. Probably he has seen the evolution of the IT within the organization, and he has been the master brain behind evolving IT atmosphere within the organization and created the best of the strategies to align with the businesses that the organization, the Indian Oil Corporation is doing so far. Mr. Alok, good afternoon and welcome to you to CIOTV.live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sanjay, and I'm really honored to be on CIO TV having some fruitful discussions with you.
All right, it's a lot to learn from you, at least those people who are entering into this space and going into your shoes. They have to learn a lot from a technology adoption point of view, strategy, your understanding of how to choose, how not to choose. Okay, my first question is, what is the state of digital transformation journey in PSUs as such in India? And if you can specify later on to oil and gas, will really be very nice.
Actually, as far as public sector undertakings are concerned, each and every public sector undertaking is under some sort of digital transformation. Now, the magnitude and scope of the digital transformation could be varying according to the needs of the PSUs. But all the PSUs, for all the PSUs, there is a mandate to bring in digital processes, remove redundant processes, manual processes, and bring in automation. And all of us have been working on this mandate. And oil and gas sector PSUs, they have been adopting to digital from very early times also. So I know about my contemporary BPCL and PCL. They also implemented ERP way back in early 2000. Indian Oil also implemented it. Then one of our biggest digital project was implementation of direct benefit transfer of LPG, which was done combined by ISC, BPC and HPC. And it was a huge task implementing the direct benefit transfer of LPG subsidy to almost 200 million customers directly into their bank account, which are linked with Aadhaar, and that too within the SLA period. And it was a humongous digital project which required integration with lot many external systems, UIDAI, banks, NIC, etc. So oil and gas sector PSUs are very adept at adopting digital. Now even our offerings like LPG cylinder, how customers have been transforming, how customers are demanding new and new facilities for booking the cylinder, delivery of cylinders. So that's how. And coming back to Indian Oil, yes, I know about Indian Oil well, and Indian Oil has been adopting to, is a very early adopter to digital. And even beyond the DBTL, we had done a very structured digital transformation project in which, first of all, we carried out the IT strategy study. So in 2017, we asked ourselves how our business will be in 2030, 10, 15 year ends, and how IT should support business in those years, upcoming years. And that is how we conducted a very structured digital transformation IT strategy. And consequent upon that strategy, there were some 80 to 90 recommendations, which we very diligently went on implementing as a project, which is known as Project iDrive. So this is what, in short, about the digital transformation.
Mr. Alok, before proceeding to the next question, if you can very quickly let us know, the audience know about the magnitude of staff strength, workforce that you are handling or enabling with IT, plus how many departments are there which are under your control, whom you are enabling. Because I'm seeing under you, so many departments are there, so many employees are there, customers are there, supplies are there. Integrating everybody, bringing them onto a single place is humongous task.
Actually, you are absolutely right. So Indian Oil, as you know, is in the every nook and corner of the country. So we have 11 refineries spread across the whole geography of India. We have almost 15,000 kilometer long pipelines. Then we have almost 750 oil and LPG terminals and bottling plants. And these are serving our almost 200 million customers. And they are also supporting our huge dealer network of 50,000 plus dealers and distributors, almost 2 lakh vendors. So it's a big ecosystem which needs to be digitally supported. And digital has not come in 1 year in Indian Oil. It has been a continuous effort for the last 30, 40 years that we have been adopting to whatever new technology has been coming. I know that when ERP came, Indian Oil was the earliest adopter. Then the implementation of a CRM from dealer management system in as early as 2015 only, we envisaged that we can't live with homegrown software. So we took up a commercially off-the-shelf software. And to talk of the not departments under me, but departments we are servicing. So we are a service department, and imagine the extent of coverage is that there are IT systems like ERP, CRM, dealer management system, content management system, etc., which has to be taking care of all refinery division, marketing division, pipeline division. These systems are generating huge amount of data which needs to be analyzed and needs to be kept ready for future usage. Then parallelly, there is a OT system in the refineries and pipelines, which is generating a real-time data about the health of equipments. There is a SCADA system in pipeline, which is the intelligent, during the intelligent pigging. It collects a lot of data about the health of the pipeline from inside and outside. Now, again, these are all opportunities, I will say. So we have to take all departments along with us. So initially, we took care of the immediate business departments who are serving the dealers, distributors, and customers, because that's our prime area. We need to take care. But then, having attained a degree of maturity on those applications, during the digital transformation project recently, we have shifted our focus on the IT-OT integration. We are trying to use the OT data, which is providing a lot of opportunities deploying AI and ML technologies.
All right. But these things, as you are saying, it sounds very easy. No, these are not at all easy. Multiple stakeholders are there, multiple technologies there, integration, test, develop, then pre-sale, the post-sale support. It's a long journey before you conclude or make any project live. So, what are the real challenges that you have faced or still you are facing?
Actually, the challenge is always they are the same in every project, whether it's a IT project or IT/OT integration project. But what I feel is whenever we go to implement a IT project, I cannot dictate that I will deliver the software or I will deliver the solution. So that will mean that I will be giving to the user a food which is cooked by me but not liked by him. If it is not liked by him, he will never eat it. So that's how it is. So what I feel is that first of all, whenever we take big digital transformation projects, sponsorship by the top leadership is very, very important. So if the top is convinced that yes, these 5, 6, 10, 15 projects have to be done, yes, you have their consent, then the decisions will flow automatically. Secondly, what I feel is that the involvement of business people from the day one, from conceptualization stage. In fact, the need for the digital project has to be identified and come from business. Then only IT can support it better. So from day one, they have to be involved in conceptual design of the project. What is the problem statement? Then going forward, how to do the tendering. We are a PSU, we have to do competitive bidding. So how to design the scope of work, technical specifications. Every place, if the user is involved, then naturally in implementation also they will be involved. So this is what exactly we took the approach, that we formed a team for every specific project. So in the digital strategy implementation, the project is known as Project iDrive, in which we started with almost 80 initiatives. That's a huge number for even a company like us. But nevertheless, for all those 80 projects, we identified the team from business and IT at the beginning itself, and that dedicated team worked on that particular project. And that's how we could generate so much of momentum and could finalize so many initiatives, that almost 75 to 80% of our initiatives are under various stages of implementation now, toward 3 year, 2.5 years into implementation. So, and another important thing is that change management is very, very important. So, so the message has to go to the masses. What is digital transformation? How we are going about it? They need to be involved in the change management exercises, the digital transformation project, like you organize hackathons, you organize competitions, prizes, trainings. So with all these things, we have tried to involve all the young people. And the results are there to see. We did a hackathon on analytics, another hackathon on robotic process automation. It was a great success because users themselves identified their problems. That yes, this is the repetitive process I am doing, and kindly, if I can automate it. Then we gave them the platform. It's a low coding platform. Kindly try to develop yourself. We will handhold you. So that's how we have gone.
Okay, this is one of the steps that you mentioned, hackathon, to identify and to encourage the young people to get involved, take interest into it. But do you have, or did you have any step-by-step approach to this? Or can you point out some steps that the organization need to take? Because there is chances of failure also.
Yes. So, yes, actually, as I said, for the digital transformation project, yes, we followed a very step-by-step approach. So, first of all, as I said, we tried to imagine how our business will look like 15 year hence, and then we did a IT strategy study. And having completed the IT strategy study, we deployed a very well-renowned consultant. Then that was presented to the top management, and their sponsorship was taken. That okay, you can please go on implementing those initiatives. And it was a huge list. And then we started with a small team. So it was not that big team. So the step was separating digital from the traditional IT, first of all. So a separate group was dedicated to the digital transformation project. And that group, as I told you, that we started interacting with users. We started revalidating those 80 initiatives, that whether the users still need it or not. That was identified 1 year back, but now are you needing it? Some of them were dropped, some of them new came. But then having formed the teams for every initiative, then we went on implementing it. And parallelly, we also started uh, implementing the cutting edge technologies like AIML assisted analytics, and those small proof of concept or low hanging fruit in terms of delivering ML assisted analytics, they really created a lot of interest among users. Another very path breaking initiative, what we did was we identified that yes, IT OT integration will hold a key in digital transformation, because there was a lot of scope in OT data which was lying hitherto unused. So we tried to develop a centralized data lake from all the OT systems in refineries and pipeline. And once the central data lake started getting populated, the business users themselves started realizing the benefits of central data, because the data hitherto was not visible to them. So they couldn't imagine how they can use the data. So we simply gave them a very simple dashboarding of, say, APC performance analytics, and looking at those data which was not visible to them, and they were very surprised to see that yes, they can really monitor centrally the performance of the units. Then they started bringing out the cases about the predictive maintenance of equipments or yield optimization in the unit. So these are the kind of analytics which are started coming out. Side by side, we were also working on procuring some very important commercially off-the-shelf tools also, because they were also equally needed to strengthen our supply chain, pricing policies, etc. So this is how we have gone about.
All right, got it. Now
Yeah.
I know that there is a amalgamation of IT and OT within the organization, but looking at the situation now, the pandemic, now it is not over yet. New variant is already there. Even the old variant is making waves in this region and other regions. So your organization is a very essential organization. It falling under the essential commodities. Now, when the things are changing, there is directive from the government to work from home or making it hybrid kind of thing. How are we going to deal with this situation? Plus, cyber security. This is the opportunity where the cyber security hackers take advantage of. So, what is your strategy? How are you ready for this unfolding situation now? Maybe not exactly now, but you must be ready with the plans.
Actually, we were ready with the plans even much earlier before the COVID, because the remote working for IT people, the field officers, our field officers who are working in the field, they have to access everything remotely. So secured access through VPNs or the kind of systems which are exposed to our dealers and distributors, which may have compromised PCs, because we don't have control over their PCs. But still, my data center needs to be very secure. So those precautions were already there in our system. So even the lockdown 1 and lockdown 2 was handled very efficiently. In our case, touchwood, there was no cyber hacking incident in our company. And in fact, almost 40% of our manpower was working from remote, working from home only. Of course, our working units they were coming to operating units, but offices, mostly people were working from home during lockdowns. And we were prepared for this. And even now, today, we have a circular to reduce the strength of lower grade people. And we are well prepared because almost our all officers, they are comfortable working from home, and then smaller things like giving e-approvals, workflow-based approvals, uh, retaining a copy of digitized copy of the documents, circulating them around, video conferencing based reviews. These are all set norms even now it is being adopted. In fact, this has these digital measures during lockdown, they have in fact, I feel, aided in faster decision making for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. We started with business and alignment of IT. Business and IT align for a better and efficient result. So I'll ask this question, and after that, I'll take some advice from you. Technology evolution and business strategies do not align many times. In the real world, business operate within a lot of constraint. Every organization you ask, there is no money, manpower is a shortage also. How do you, as a head of the organization, IT organization particularly, decision maker, try to bridge the gap? You need also marketing because you are selling the product to the end customer. That is a marketing department also.
So actually, as far as Indian Oil is concerned, what I have seen is that there is a very progressive outlook of the top management towards automating our processes. Because when I started my career, everything was on paper based. But today, what we have grown, even our LPG customers, you may be our LPG customers. Today, if the customer who is using Amazon or Flipkart or Ola or Swiggy or Zomato, so he will expect the same kind of experience with public sectors also. So now today, the customer, if he says that I am comfortable booking my cylinder through Twitter or Facebook, I cannot say no to him. If the customer is comfortable dealing with a chat bot and it reduces my manpower in call centers, I have to adopt it. So these are the kind of things that our management has always been supportive, and budget per se has never been a problem for us. And in fact, during the last 6-7 years, where I have been the HOD in for IT, different IT organizations in Indian Oil, we have seen a huge investment in IT. Because as I again said that, first of all, the need identification has to come from business. So it was we IT people who used to sit with business and try to identify their IT need. So wherever they are feeling the pinch, be it in the the need of a pricing tool, or be it supply chain scheduling tool. So having identified the need and identified that yes, this is the procurement we have to do, then it becomes very simple. And fortunately, budget has not been a problem in India. No, never. So once need is identified, everybody is convinced.
Okay. So so far from the conversation, I can understand that you are managing everything fine, and OT sensor-based technologies are already there in place. But some of the technologies, futuristic technologies, for example, AR, VR, augmented reality or virtual reality, are being utilized by oil and gas sector in other countries as well. Plus other sectors, including your healthcare, real estate, and retail also. Similar to that is artificial intelligence and analytics. Of course, I know that analytics or big data, we must have that technology. Reason being, so many customers are there, they are buying pattern, understanding, putting it into the analytics, that you must be doing. So any such technology, that four names I said now, AR, VR, AI, analytics, where are you focusing these days, or how do you see these technologies that is going to bring value to the sector?
Actually, as I told you, And the Central Data Lake project has really helped us in creating a huge reservoir of data from which information can be derived. So we have very happy. I am very happy to note that during the last 2.5 years, we have been able to develop a center of excellence in machine learning based analytics. So we have developed almost 30 to 35 machine learning based analytic cases deploying based on this data. The analytics can the topics can vary from customer sentiment analysis to yield optimization to predictive maintenance or simply monitoring of certain health of equipment. So that is one area where we have really adopted the cutting edge technology. Another cutting edge technology which is having a great use in Indian oil, as I have felt, is the robotic process automation. There are many repetitive processes which our people are doing. It's only again trying to democratize the robotic process automation by going to the masses, telling them through hackathons and competitions. Let them they let themselves they, let them identify that what is the repetitive process they are doing. Can it be automated? It can be very simple things like sending circulars on WhatsApp to 20,000 people. Those are the kind of repetitive processes. I'm surprised to see that our officers are still doing manually. So that technology has great potential in Indian oil. Then again, another very good technology, chatbot. I have found that we have it's a big customer facing organization. So chatbots for customers, vendors, even employees for that matter. For as an employee, if I tell somebody that for knowing your salary you have to go in X application, for another leave another application, for some entitlements in another application, can chatbot be a one window, single window this thing to employee? It has really proved. ARVR, you said ARVR has great, we have found that it has great application in terms of imparting trainings. Now, particularly in this COVID time, if you develop a application on AR/VR, provide tell the locations to purchase the headsets, and then imagine that how fast they can impart training to individuals rather than asking 30-40 individuals to sit in a training room. A single individual can be called, he can be asked to simulate, you can put checks and controls in the software. So a truck driver can be imparted training on how to safely drive a truck in the terminal. So these are the kind of topics. Or if I have to teach somebody how to run a fire extinguisher, these are the kind of ARVR technology which is having. Then we have also gone in for few implementations of blockchain. It's again a very emerging technology, but we'll be finding more users in the future. This is in short the new technology, but we are open to all the new technologies.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, I haven't asked about how much of cloud you are using, whether your data center is on-prem or co-location or something else. So let us not go into that. But if you wish, you can tell me. But what is your opinion about cloud? Now, cloud is being treated or seen by many of the organizations as the devil. It is something which is guzzling a lot of your bandwidth investment also. But obviously, it has many plus side, many advantages also. How do you see this piece of technology, which was very hyped earlier, but now people are talking in a different way. The tones are changed now.
Actually, I'll tell you in the perspective of Indian Oil. Actually, we are a company with a very infrastructure which is very critical to and it's to national importance. So, so is our data. So we have two parts of our IT. One is the very critical data which we cannot host on cloud. We are not supposed to host on cloud, even if it is MIT approved cloud. And the other part is the applications particularly AI-based applications which can only be hosted on cloud. So we are going with a mix of it. So we have on-prem solutions for all our critical applications. They are all mostly on-prem, but selectively we are also adopting to cloud. Of course, with restrictions like you can host only within India, MIT approved cloud, etc. So this is the approach we are taking, and I think cloud has its utility. Only thing is that as per the situation, yes, we are good.
All right. So the final question coming on the way. As per you, what should be the top technologies that you will be investing, number one? And what would be your piece of advice to other IT leaders that they should look at during 2022 and why?
Actually, I see a great future for machine learning and artificial intelligence based analytics. So analytics is driving a lot of traction for many companies, and in fact, through analytics, there are proven cases where companies have saved money. So my expectation is that the AI/ML based analytics will have good application in the coming years, and so is the IT/OT integration, because IT data is already structured and it's available, and the benefits can be obtained. It's the OT data where a lot of optimization can happen, and every organization will have to find its way how to harness the potential of OT data. So this is what I feel is the immediate opportunity available. Other than that, this cutting edge technologies, they are all there. We are seeing emergence of very promising startups in these specialized fields like blockchain, AR, VR, etc. And it's the opportunity to have partnerships or incubating the startup, because every capabilities the companies don't have. So if it has taken us 2.5 years to develop 3 to 4 experts on machine learning based analytics. So that's again my opinion, that rather than trying to develop all capabilities ourselves within the company, we can look towards having partnerships and tying with the emerging startups or specialized companies to get these solutions faster. But the time is essence as far as I feel.
Yeah, speed to market.
Yes.
The less turnaround time.
Yes. Yes.
All right, then. Thank you, Mr. Alok, for taking time out and speaking to CIOTV.live.
Thank you very much for calling me. I'm really honored.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Alok Khanna, Executive Director, Strategic IS Indian Oil Corporation Limited. If you have any query or questions, please drop in your mail. Even the ID is given here at the end of this video. Thank you very much. Stay safe.